Welcome to the deep dive. So if you've been following the news at all, you know the whole AI conversation feels a bit stuck.
It does.
It's always one of two things, right? Either it's this unstoppable force that's going to change absolutely everything, or it's just the biggest financial bubble since the dot-com crash.
Yeah, and you can't help but see the parallels. I mean, you've got billions pouring into chips, into data centers. You have these huge speculative bets.
And a few giant companies dominating the whole landscape. It feels a lot like the railway boom or, the early days of crypto.
It absolutely does.
Okay, so let's dig into that because we've been looking at sources that make this really provocative argument. They say the biggest risk we're facing isn't a financial bubble at all.
It's an expectations bubble.
Exactly. And that's what we want to unpack in this deep dive. The real danger isn't that valuations might fall. It's that we've sort of convinced ourselves that these smart algorithms are going to fix really deep structural problems.
Problems that are fundamentally about people, about politics and leadership.
We're talking about things like chronic underinvestment in infrastructure or weak governance, maybe even systemic corruption.
Right. And when AI gets pitched as the quick fix for something like, say, a national power grid that's failing, the expectation is just completely divorced from what the tech can actually do.
So this brings us to just a fascinating observation from one of our sources. A professional who's worked on this for over a decade says AI projects almost never fail because the technology wasn't good enough.
That's the key insight.
Wait, seriously. So you're telling me the tech is basically fine? We hear all the time about bias in models or not having enough computing power. It's truly never a technical failure.
Yeah, well, it's not that the tech is bulletproof. Those are real challenges, for sure, but they're solvable challenges. The thing that actually causes these huge projects to collapse is organizational failure.
Okay.
It's misaligned expectations. It's poor leadership. It's trying to use messy, badly structured data or just a flat-out refusal to change the way people actually do their jobs.
So what happens then? What does the tech do when you drop it into a system that's already broken? It sounds like putting premium fuel into an engine with a cracked block.
That's a great way to put it. It basically just amplifies whatever it's plugged into.
Ah,
You put AI into a well-run company with clear goals and good data, you get incredible, sometimes exponential gains, but you drop that same AI into, say, a mismanaged state-owned enterprise.
right.
And mostly what it does is help you measure the existing dysfunction with a lot more precision.
So it becomes a very, very expensive mirror. It just shows you all your own faults.
Exactly. No model can create new power generation capacity out of thin air. It can't enforce ethical procurement policies. It just can't substitute for basic competence or political will.
We still have to do the human work.
And this is where the real psychological cost kicks in. Believing that AI is going to let you leapfrog over these deep structural problems, it's a huge risk.
Why? Because it lets leaders off the hook.
Yes. It gives them cover to delay the really hard, unglamorous work. Things like maintaining physical infrastructure, properly training frontline staff, or just building trustworthy institutions.
And I guess when that shiny AI pilot project inevitably fails to deliver a miracle because the human system under it is broken, public trust just craters, trust in the tech and in the leadership.
Which brings us to what this means for you, the learner. For policymakers, the message is pretty clear. You have to strengthen your institutions alongside any AI investment. Don't just buy the shiny pilot.
And for business leaders, I imagine the point is not to just use AI for a branding exercise.
Not at all. The real competitive advantage comes from the much harder work of redesigning your actual processes. Clarifying who makes which decision, that's where the value is.
Okay, and what about for educators? For parents?
Well, the sources are unanimous here. Foundational skills are completely non-negotiable. Literacy, critical thinking, ethical judgment. An algorithm can't save a young person who lacks those basics.
So what's the final synthesis here? Where does that leave us?
I think the healthier and frankly more demanding way to look at it is this. We have to use AI strategically where it can genuinely help. But we have to keep our primary focus on the very human work of building competent institutions and holding our leaders to account.
Technology can be a powerful ally in that work. But here's the final thought we want to leave you with. It cannot do the work for us. That is a decision only people can make.